I don't tend to cover hotfixes that often, but this one, it's kind of important, not for the following reasons. Mostly because a lot of the changes are silly little things that don't really need to be explained, they just make things work better. Kume players, for example, experiencing a difficult time completing the challenge of her second ability because other people have just straight up annihilated everything. They've added a quote-unquote brief window that allows assisted kills to count towards the challenge. This is great. Reduce the max number of kills, and yeah, most of these are literally just subtle little things and fixes. Yeah, this is a hot fix, and look how many fixes. This is mainline level amount of fixes. This is because when they released Kume and the Five Fates as, oh, dare I say, about 80% of players have noticed, the game has ran rather terribly since. They have addressed a lot of the issues, and it should work a little bit better now. My favourite one out of all of this, when it comes to changes, was adding a cancel button. Oh, where would it be? I saw it earlier, mainly because it was stupid not to have one. When agreeing to terms and conditions of something, you basically have yes or no options, okay or cancel. This didn't have it, so when it came down to the Steam binding account, so you just click a button and it automatically logs in without using the password and everything else, they finally added a cancel button to the binding account options. If you don't agree with the terms of service of that page, you can click cancel. Beforehand, you could not do so, which is something that should have been there to begin with. Come on, we're talking basic trading standards here. You either agree with the terms of service or you don't. If you don't, there wasn't much you could really do about it because they didn't give you the option to say no. That has been added. Maybe a week and a bit late, but hey, at least it was added. Speaking of a little bit late, the main reason we're actually here. They've made changes to Knights of Naberus, and there are actually interesting ones that people have been wondering, where were these items from 2020 and 2022. Give it a good fast travel over to Daughter, go to Naberus Streets, and in here are a few things that should have been here to begin with. Oh, there they are.
Mortality.
The Plague Zaw parts. These are obnoxiously difficult to get a hold of, so the fact that they have been added here is something that was supposed to be here to begin with, has been here in the past, because if they're not running the Plague Star event, they've got to put them somewhere. These are important because obviously you have the two grips, the one-handed grip, the Plague Oquin, that you can turn basically... well, not really. This is just the Plague Oquin. It's just a different grip. There was the two-handed grip, basically polearm style, shall we call it, the Plague Bokwin. Fun in themselves, but it's the heads that kind of matter with the Plague Kiwa. That it's a infested scythe or staff head. You can put it on a scythe, or you can put it on a staff. This is where Zaws were amazing. You can take the damaging blade part of a weapon and stick it on any handle for any melee type and create some really interesting things within reason. Obviously this can be a scythe or a staff, but being plague stuff, it has inert viral damage as standard. There is also the rapier-like blade that, to be fair, it's a rapier and it will always be, and you can put this on a polearm, but to be fair, I think it was meant to go on the Plague Oquin. These are the blueprints for these, but again, will add viral damage. Does require a lot of mining things from the Orb Valis to actually build these, but damn, they are worth it because some of the best Zaws are made using the Plague parts. In my opinion. It's nothing more than my opinion. That was probably the best scythe, and the rapiers, that was very useful for. Though it doesn't pop up if you actually search rapier in amongst your equipment. Wish that's something they'll fix. Just to prove my point before anybody says that you can do this, rapier. There's only 3 of them. Would much rather have that. I called it Darkwood. Probably a reference for something weird, I have no idea, but there it is. And damn, I love that thing. It was so much fun, but a bit slow, in my opinion. Same kind of went for the Kiwa. It was a little bit slow. It depends on how you put these, or what you put these on, as to how quick or slow they ended up actually being. I never did make the decent one, did I? Oh well. But they have finally been added to Naberus Nights, which is of course around until the end of October, so you have the next 3 weeks and a day to get in here and pick these up. To be fair, 25 mother tokens, 75, that's 100 mother tokens to get 2 parts to build. Depends which 2 you want to go for, if you do want to go for those, that is. I mean, you don't have to get the plague handles, the plague grips, the pole arm, or the single-handed. You can just get plague Kiwa or the plague Krapath, because they are the 2 that will create the plague styles or weapons. The other ones are hand. They do help, don't get me wrong, but they are around, and I would say pick them up while you can, because they are still very useful and fairly rare, since they do not appear as often as everybody would like. Then there is the Arcanes that go with it, that after a bullet jump or double jump, melee while aim gliding launches a projectile that explodes on impact. Oh yeah, these were actually fun. After a bullet jump or double dash, Slam emits a shockwave forwards that suspends enemies in the air for a short period with, I'm just going to call it Epidemic, or we have Contagion. I loved Contagion. Epidemic, sometimes, but not always, simply down to the fact that it only works on Zaws. If it worked on every other melee weapon, these things would have been so much fun. They really would have. They are, of course, also here for the next 3 weeks, if you want to pick those up as well. The big thing, of course, about this is the fact that the Plague Zaw parts have returned finally. They will be around till the end of the month, and with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.